The modern state of Israel was founded on May 1948, in the aftermath of the Holocaust and World War II. But before that happens, the Palestinians are opposing the migration of the Jews to their land, and because of that many protest happens everywhere. The protest continues as more Jewish had arrived to make home for themselves. The influx accelerated from 4,000 on 1931 to 62,000 on 1935. Unexpectedly, the world once more plunged in chaos on 1939, in the fight back against Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany, who's ultimately responsible for executing more than 6 million Jews. In 1947, the UN General Assembly volunteered Resolution 181, which carving of new state from Palestine to the west of Jordan River, one housing Jews, the other Arabs. Palestinians disagree with the decision and argued that Jews own no more than 5% of the land at that time and have no right to receive 56% in terms of international legitimacy. On May 14, 1948, Israel was found under Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion, with the end of British mandate. The US and Soviet Union recognized the State of Israel, but prompting the outbreak of bloody Arab and Israel war. "3,000 soldiers rise up and 700,000 Palestinian people flee the fighting and seek refuges in Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, West Bank, and Gaza, often without citizenship being granted." Palestinians still remembering that day every year on Nakba Day. They hold rallies and brandish the key of their homes that they were forced to leave behind. United Nations passed another resolution, Resolution 19, for which gives the rights to the Palestinians to return to their homes as soon as possible. Israel rejected the resolution as it's a threat to the exclusive Jewish nature of new state. Later on, Israel signs armistice agreement with its neighbors Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. On 1964, the Palestinian Liberation Organization was founded in Cairo. It's an armed revolutionary group, so US and Israel labeled it as terrorist group. 1967, Israel's military advanced to Gaza, West Bank, and Golan Heights as the beginning of a 6 days war, which they've won against them. On 1978, Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and Egyptian President Anwar Sadat signed a peace treaty in Maryland known as Camp David Accords. On 1993, the Oslo I Accord was signed by Israel Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and Palestine Chairman Yasser Arafat, and the Palestinian National Authority was born. A second agreement was made on 1995, the Oslo II, which granted Palestinian authority over parts of West Bank and Gaza, but again no statehood offered. However, Israel reoccupied West Bank, which resulted the death of Palestine Liberation Organization Chairman Yasser Arafat on 2004. Since that day, violence had returned. Later on, Israel declared war against Hezbollah in Lebanon and launched repeated assault to Hamas in Gaza, which they considered as terrorist group. The tensions that have subsequently erupted in Gaza and resulted in further deaths of Israeli and Palestinian. Rockets that strikes are just the latest manifestation of feuds that continues to blight the historic landscape. Torn apart by bloodshed.